The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.
Great things, my fellow warriors. Boy Mechanimal, and today we're going to answer $1 trillion question. And is that expensive? Because I believe answering that, clarifying that, could save a lot of people and make people work harder. And the question is, should women train any different than men? And answering that question will trickle down to is a woman responding any different to stimulus, training stimulus, than a man? The answer is no. The stimulus response is the same. So as physiologically different as we may be, and i.e. testosterone level, which is the pretty much one of the main reasons why women may experience a slower pace of muscle protein synthesis, meaning women likely to build muscle at a slower pace than men. And beside that factor, the stimulus applied to the body should not be any different whether it's a man or a woman. So the answer is pretty simple. Everybody should be training the same for the same type of fitness goal. It comes down to what are your goals? What are your training goals? That's the only criteria that should differentiate that's the only criteria that should separate different classes of people, different categories of people, because depending on your fitness goals, you will tailor your training protocol specifically to meet your goals, and not because you are a man or a woman and that your body will respond differently to training stimulus. Training stimulus should be the same. And to illustrate the nonsense going on about this topic, you can see on social media, for example, on IG, there is a proliferation of workout, and specific workout designated for women. And of course, people tend to flock around people that look like them, right? And that means if a woman is customizing program or elaborating program for women gonna think that women should be training this certain type of way, if you understand what I'm saying. And a lot of time those people have little knowledge of what they're talking about, and in that way they tend to spread the idea that women training should be confined to those type of exercise, which are exercise in the general sense of it. Exercise should be there is a difference that should be made between exercise and training, because exercise is usually to make you feel good. Training comes with a progressive aspect of it, whether it's an overload sense of it, or whatever whether it is or whatever type of progressive overload that you apply to it. That's that with the training. But I'm digressing, coming back to whether or not women should be training any different than women. So because a lot of time certain women tend to design workout routine, some of them as ridiculous as it gets, to target women and making those women thinking that they are bound to train this specific way so they can look like this specific woman. I'm using a lot of term woman. I don't want to sound like a misogynist or anything, but yeah, I'm just trying to make the situation clear. So that's that, because you can sense the same pattern for men who design exercise routine that target or attract men, and those men follow those men routine because they want to look like those specific men. But the dynamic is more pronounced in the woman department, because a lot of time women don't want to look like men, right? So they feel like if I follow a woman routine, most likely I'm going to look like her and not gonna end up looking like a man. So I think that's usually the reason why women would tend to flock around women. Designing those routine, and a lot of time there's surgery involved. There are PEDs involved, and the results of those people don't necessarily reflect the potency or the essence of the routine that they're spreading out, and which is unfortunate. That's why you have to read between the line and trying to figure out what's the right information to follow, and trying to be, I think my main advice would be to be as minimalist as possible, especially at the beginning, so you don't overcrowd yourself with useless information and end up jumping from routine to routine. And being minimalist would be one way to stay sane, at least until you gain experience, before you can start munching on more information here and there. So so that gives you a little perspective of what's going on in the fitness world and the training world that should not be, and how to plan your journey so that you don't fall victim in this loop, this vicious loop that keep you trapped in mindsets that devolve in stagnation or injuries. So that's that. Women should not be training any different than men. If anything, I would suggest women to train exactly like men. That's why all my clients, I train them pretty much with the same protocol, because I like to build like a nice foundation, and I set out to prove the world that calisthenics is not only meant for elite class of people. It can be applied to any class of citizen, and whether you're a senior citizen, middle age, or young, I'm finding a way to apply calisthenics to every single person, and so far with a successful outcome, which I'm literally proud of, and more. Above all, proud of my client, because without them following the routine, nothing can be achieved. So I tend to take less credit and give all the credit to the people following the routine, because without them applying, nothing will happen. And I can observe that too. With some other clients who obviously they don't follow as much as they should, and the results are being expressed accordingly. So what else? I think that should cover all we need to know about men training versus women training. So women, do not fall victim of that mindset that you don't want to look like a man. Thus, you have to follow a specific routine built for women. So yeah, hope everything was clear, loud, even though I don't speak loudly. And yeah, train steady and may the struggle be overcome. Everything is and will always be. Let me can wait. I haven't done a backflip on concrete in a long time. Salute.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.